come off of a good study in James with visiting the orphans and the widows in our college and career group. So there was a clear call to visit the orphans and widows, so we took it and ran with it. A bunch of us girls were together for breakfast one morning, just brainstorming on how we as young women with time on our hands could just impact the community, the local community for Christ. So widows, orphans, I took on the abortion side of it, and I organized this group to go together and to be there on behalf of the women and their babies.
At the pantry, I'm one of the board members, and I'm involved in intake, where I get to sit with the new clients that come in, ask them a lot of questions. It's a one-on-one where you do get to sit and meet with the clients, and there are times that I just want to put my arms around them and help them.
So we had tried for some time to have a child ourselves. My wife, when we met, had 3 children that were 3, the twins were 3 and the oldest was 5 at the time. We had tried to have children and we weren't able to for a long time. And we finally came up with possibly adopting.
Most of the time we're standing there, and as cars come in, you just kind of pray for each car, whoever it is.
People that come on a regular basis, once a month, it really gets to be like family, you know, like we are building relationships. Many times now, because we've been open for a year, I'll see a client come in and say, oh, hey, how's your arm? I know you had that surgery.
We went in saying, we're only going to adopt. But after doing these classes and hearing these stories and seeing all the children that are in such need, we both looked at each other. We said, we have to foster too, because we knew we had the space, we had the love.
There was one girl, one of the first weeks we were there, her name was Danielle. She had come in with her friend, she was clearly pregnant. So not being able to go into the parking lot, you kind of have to ask them to come over to you. So Danielle had come over to Bob, the guy that was calling to her, and just had this conversation with her where he was asking, how far along are you? She actually had 2 other kids. She ended up getting really frustrated and just darting into the building. So we thought all was lost.
I got a phone call on a Saturday, and they said, would you be interested in a baby boy? I said, of course I'd be interested in a baby boy. How old? They said 2 days. I said, what?
And I think 20 minutes later, she comes out and she said, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have been able to go through with this.
First couple of months were tough. I was attached to him days in, but I realized real quickly that it was my flesh and it was me. You know, once, like my wife said, kind of gave up to God, people would ask, like, how are you going to do it? And I said, listen, if he leaves tomorrow, it was a blessing for the both of us. And if that's what God's plan is, then that's what God's plan is. And as of yesterday, we've had him for 19 months.
She realized, she was able to understand that she couldn't do it. And it's true, if it wasn't for us, if it wasn't for the Lord using us there to pray for her, she would have gone through with it. So that was, to actually see one child saved because of the Lord bringing us there was so cool.
There really are no words that can express the gratitude we have to the Lord to be able to help others. Most importantly is being able to share the gospel with them, which we can do freely. There really are no words to describe it. It's amazing. It's a blessing, absolute blessing. So.